Hey guys, it is Deedria Chauntee and I am back with the amazing barber, entrepreneur, educator. Y'all just don't know. He like just a good ball of just greatness. Just absolute greatness. And that is an understatement. And anybody that knows this man would say that. Mr. Dan Brown is here with me.
Hello. It's nostalgic. To be honest with you, it's kind of crazy being here.
Here.
It's nostalgic.
Where it started.
Absolutely.
Where everything started.
Absolutely.
You know, I appreciate you.
Really?
Yes, I would not be where I am if it wasn't for you. And everything that you invested into cutting edge.
And we're going to get back into that because as I start to tell the story, there's a give and take process between our relationship over the years.
Yes.
But before we even get started, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. And to be honest with you, she knows this and she won't admit it, but there's no way that I'm here without her support. As it's been said, I'm a licensed barber, licensed instructor, and now I'm an author, which is what brings me here today. But when I was a master barber, she saw something in me, and from one of the first days we had met, she said that you're going to be the star. And at the time, I didn't know what she was talking about because I don't take myself that seriously. To be honest with you.
How old were you then? Like
that was over 10 years ago, so I was in my early 20s.
Early 20s.
So,
I knew.
So she saw all the way back then, and I've seen her from the first school move on to where she is now. We have a radio show now. She's doing fashion shows, guest speaking appearances. I mean, she's everywhere, you know. So, I'm so fortunate to have been able to have the opportunity to be around you in so many different ways. And even though we're not working in the same school now, that respect and that friendship and that love will never change.
Always gonna be there.
You know, so I'm so appreciative to be here.
I always tell people work ethic means a lot, and your work ethic just speaks for itself. Like I don't care what time I set, you are always there. I don't care what crazy thing, because if anybody knows me, I'm a visionary. I see the end. I see what I want. I don't always tell people how to get there. So you always connected the dots without a lot. Okay, I got you. Okay, you don't need to say nothing else. Okay, all right, I got you. All right, I got it.
I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where leadership is important. And even though, as we said before, we fought and we've been back together, and we fought and we've been back together, you know, so it's one of those things where, you know, you've always been very positive in terms of really wanting what's best for the students in school and wanting what's best for the community. So you can always support that, you know, regardless of any faults that people have.
Thank you.
I was telling her earlier on, I'm not going to deliberately make her cry, but I mean, she has tissue. I didn't make her bring it. I don't know, you know. She decided to use it, but anyway.
It's just like it feels good to know someone. I mean, like, we've been in this thing 10 years. To be able to still have a connection, to know you can always go back home. You can always make that phone call and get advice. You can always pick that phone up no matter what and get help. Like,
Absolutely.
that's one of the things that's really lacking in our community. And in this industry, it's so much doggy-dogism.
You're right, especially in our industry, and that's one of the things that's a deficiency I see, is where everybody's really out for themselves. You know, and that's really where something that we should really do a lot better of.
Yeah.
Is because ultimately when I win, then you win.
Everybody wins.
You know, and that's something I've really taken to heart, and it's not a matter of like my viewpoint changed. That's just how I pretty much was raised.
That's just, and some people, it's just in you. You know, like, and Dan is a northerner, I have to say.
From Boston.
He has Southern boy charm, but you do have Southern boy charm.
I mean, if you say so,
you do. But you are totally a northerner. So I think it's that mix of, I mean, that work ethic. Where does that work ethic come from?
Probably my parents. When I think about, she knows all my family pretty much.
Yes. I'm the sister.
Yeah, so she's one of the sisters. But like she was saying, I'm originally from Boston, and when I went to barber school in Massachusetts, I then moved here to Atlanta in the early 2000s, and I have 6 brothers and sisters. And I guess
they dope too.
Yeah, my wife at Giselle Victoria, at Giselle Victoria. She's the best stylist, the best cosmetology instructor, an even better mother.
And she's a beautiful friend too.
And an even better wife. She's a beast. So she's also in the industry as well. So, you know, pretty much to answer your question, when it comes to work ethic, it will probably come from my parents. I always, and I talk about this in the book. In my book, which we'll get into briefly in a little bit, is entitled "It's Time: My Journey to State Board," and I'll get more into exactly what it's about later. But I talk about in the book briefly about how when it came to my dad, I remember him coming home after long days of hard work, but he always still had time to shoot around in the backyard with me and my brothers. And also to my mom, I remember her working nights, you know, full time as a nurse.
She's got it done.
You know, and she had 7 kids. You know,
7.
7
we
kids.
don't do that no more, y'all. 7.
7 kids, you know, and also too, my sister, she's really the one who got me into the industry. My sister Rachel, she's up in Boston. Rachel Leslie Hair Salon. She actually opened up her first shop after years. She should have been had one 20 years ago.
Had one.
But
this lady can slay some hair.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just really been very fortunate to have a very positive family. And even though I had difficulties, which I talk about in the book over time, I just want to help to inspire other people to write their own book, which you should be doing.
I do have a book coming out my birthday.
Okay. All right. See, I figured. I'm not even surprised. I didn't even know that. I'm not even surprised. But it's really to inspire other people, you know, and to be able to learn from my mistakes and my ups and downs so that they can do the same.
Yeah, and so my grandmother, you were raised, my mother and my grandparents raised my mom, and that whole generation, it was kind of whatever goes on in this house, you don't talk about it. And we have got to get out of that mentality, because we overcome by our testimonies. We overcome by letting people know. That's why there's such a disconnect between the young people and our generation, because they doing crazy stuff. We did it, but we scared to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, it's one of those things where, for me, I feel that as a barber and as an educator now, that I'm almost...
Pastor.
What's up? I almost feel as though I'm part of that bridge between the younger generation and the older generation, because I respect what the older generation has laid down for us, but at the same time, too, they have to be able to reach out to the younger generation so that we can bridge that gap.
I see it getting better. I see, when I look at my students, I see a difference. Some of my young guys, they are really good fathers. Yeah. They're coming to school like, can I leave at 2? I gotta go get my baby off the bus. And I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead. Now I'm trying to marry them so that they're paying their own bills and their mother's not paying their tuition. I don't understand, but yes, but I do see. I do see that's a start. If you are a real man, take care of their responsibilities.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing I can say. You are such a man. You are like a man.
I hope so.
Not a boy man. Boy means you responsible for them. But a real man is going to make sure he takes care of all the women. And you have been like that. You open doors. I got that, Miss D. Like, you are just an amazing. And when I first found out that y'all were having a baby, because remember I was right there when she moved here. We had the wedding. I've been there for all of that. So I knew you were going to be an amazing father.
Thank you. I just do the best I can. I mean, I'm not, you know, I just do the best I can like everybody else, you know, and obviously I learned a lot from my parents, and especially my father, in terms of having patience and being able to take care of his family. But at the same time, too, I'm still a work in progress.
Yeah, we all are.
So, so I appreciate that, you know, but I'm still working on trying to get even more crisp.
Gotcha. You know? Oh, that word crisp.
I know,
it's traveled. I like that. Where that has traveled, it has done a whole lot. First I want to know, when did it spark in you? I know because I know you, so I got to try to ask questions because I want my viewers and I want the world to get to know this man. But why did you want to move over into education?
Well, you know, when I was in barber school, a lot of times students, fellow students of mine would say that I'd be a good teacher, and I honestly never thought about it. You know, as I mentioned before, I went to school in Massachusetts for my first 1,000 hours. When I moved to Georgia, I had to go back to school to do another 500.
Because that's how we do.
Yeah, so it was 1,500 hours, and what ended up happening was I got the same response with my current student or my fellow students here as I did in Boston. And it wasn't a matter of me trying to teach them or trying to tell them what to do. It was just a matter of, I guess it was just something that was in me. And even in the book, I talk a lot about how I've had to overcome a lot of self-doubt with saying, you know, it's okay, you are good at that. You know, and even today I was thinking to myself, how am I going to get interviewed? And my wife Danielle's like, are you kidding me? You know, so, but it's you know, so there's a lot to it, which is why 10, 16, 17, October 16.
October 16, 2017. I'm excited too, Brandy. I'm excited too. I really want you to come over to the school and have a book signing, but we will plan that later. I really want as many students as possible to just be able to be in your space and to listen to you. When you decided to write the book, what was the main motivation?
Well, it was actually suggested to me, you know, to write a book because I have a podcast that I had started.
Which is?
Barber Biz Podcast.
Barber Biz Podcast, Instagram.
That's the Instagram. And we also have a website, barberbizpodcast.com, where we have interviews. And we interview different people from the industry. And, you know, ironically, before I even get to answer that question, this is how you can tell that we always have positive vibes. Because she has a radio show. I go and do interviews. But there was never hate between us. Never. Because a lot of the same people that we interview, a lot of the same people that we have interactions with, you know, are people that are helping to lead our industry. You know, so we
that we've had the pleasure of working with.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And, I mean, we got a strong resume. You know, the people that came up under us that's got licenses, they eating good.
Well, I'll let you tell it, you know. But yeah, I'm very proud to see a lot of the students that have moved on to bigger and better things. I always tell the students I want them to do more and do better than I did, because otherwise I didn't accomplish my goal. But to answer your question, which I can't remember what it was, we started talking about other
stuff. The book we were talking about.
But as far as the book goes, I'm not a writer, honestly, and
I said that, but he wrote a lot of lesson plans, y'all.
Now that's true. A lot of lesson. That's true. We didn't have the Cengage Milady guide at first, so we had to write our lesson plans out. I'm not even going to go down that dark alley. I don't want to talk about that.
But it works. I bet you could come up with a lesson plan like that.
Kind of. So, but in terms of the book, basically when I started writing, I really just kind of started having a lot of things just pour out of me. And in my experiences growing up and going into barber school and so forth, really kind of started just flowing on the paper.
Gotcha.
And eventually, it was like, wow, I have enough to have a book. And then I started realizing that it's actually going to be a series. Because the first book is my journey to state board, which is my experiences getting my barber license.
Getting to that process.
But the next book, which will be coming out later, is called An Instructor's Journey.
Oh, yeah.
Which talks about my experiences in barbershops, my experiences at schools.
Yes.
Right? And so forth. So for now, for people who've been in the industry, perhaps those who are cosmetologists trying to get their barber license, or barbers trying to get their cosmetology license, or students, you're going to love this book because it's a story. It's not just the do's and don'ts.
It's more than that.
It's more than that. I describe it as, we give the standards as educators to say, do this, do that, do this, do that. But the book, it's a story. It provides color, a taste, a touch, and a feel.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, I told you this man is amazing. Just amazing. I can't wait until this book comes out. October 16, 2017. When are pre-orders starting?
We will be having pre-orders starting up soon, and you'll see that on the website and also through my Instagram. Any day now, you'll see the information to be able to pre-order the book.
Okay, and the Instagram is Barber Biz Podcast.
Yes.
Okay, and barberbizpodcast.com. This is Deedria Chauntee with Dan Brown. Give us 2 minutes. We'll be right back.